I placed my hands on my ears as the sound of hydraulics whistled into the room. Danielle quickly opened a door and ushered me into a room divided by a track. On our side stood the ride operators who were pushing buttons and dials on a control panel filled with strange displays and charts. One of them waved to Danielle and pointed to a Jeep-looking car that rumbled into the room. I looked over to the other side of the room to see a long line of people patiently waiting in line. "Where are we?" I asked to Danielle. "You'll see, hopefully this will make up for the jungle boat ride," Danielle replied. Well, that bar isn't that high, I thought to myself. We waited for a quick minute for another Jeep to enter the station, before hopping onto the Jeep. There were a few cries of protest from the crowd, which were quickly silenced with promises of vouchers for overpriced drinks and food. With a lurch, our fake Jeep went through 2 double doors, into a dark hallway. Vroom. Drop. Ah. Big thing, big thing. Fire hot. Wait. Go for it. More fire. More crap. Spears. Big rock. Duck, down. Before I knew it, the Jeep rolled back into the station. I was cheering and clapping like a maniac. "I knew you would like it," Danielle said to me. "Can we go again?" I asked, my brain on full kid mode after such an exciting ride. "Sure, Danielle said, looking down at the seat below me. Looking down myself, I saw a small wet spot. It seemed all my jumping around had squished my diaper so much that part of it was leaking out. I flushed a deep crimson. I hadn't let Danielle check my diaper at all since my last change, and now my pants were wet, again. Danielle gently ushered me out of the Jeep, back over to the control booth. Thankfully no one noticed my small from sneaking through the control area as Danielle escorted me to a small employee bathroom. She looked down at my wet form, my head shyly looking down at my feet, too embarrassed to do anything else. "This most likely would have not happened if you had let me check you more often," Danielle said to me. I gently nodded my head in reply. "Are you going to let me take care of you properly from now on?" Danielle asked me. Again, I nodded my head in reply. "Okie dokie Smokey. Let's get you changed," she said, her voice jumping back into her bubbly tone. She quickly picked me up and spun me through the air, blowing a raspberry on my tummy. I giggled loudly, I couldn't help it. Gently laying me back down on the floor, Danielle pulled down my wet pants. Ripping off the Velcro tapes of my diaper, she carefully pulled out the diaper from underneath me. A small corner of the leak guard had broken, and the wet gel was leaking out of the sides. Danielle carefully rolled up the now destroyed diaper and grabbed another diaper from her pack. "Only 2 more left," she said to me, lifting me up and placing the fresh diaper beneath me. She quickly applied a dusting of powder and then fastened my dry underwear on. "But what are we going to do about the wet pants?" Danielle said to me, holding up the wet spot to emphasize her question. I leaned upwards and gave the idea some thought. "How about we get everything wet?" I suggested. Danielle looked at me, urging me to elaborate. "You know, go on the log flume," I said excitedly. "But I just changed you into a fresh diaper. I'm going to have to change you out of that after the ride," Danielle said pointedly. "Yeah, but then all of my pants will be wet, not just the part 1 wet," I answered. Danielle thought for a moment before letting out a sigh, unable to find a hole in my superior child logic. "All right, fine, let's get going then." Danielle handed me my wet pants, which had seemed to become ice cold since she took them off me. I hurried after her as the 2 of us navigated through Disney's network of tunnels, straight towards the log flume.